Howdy! I want to very quickly show how you can view your grades on specific assignments and how you can see some feedback. So when you're logged into the class, uh, you have all these announcements and stuff. These little red dots here mean that I haven't clicked on them yet, and so I can go through and click on them if I want and read through them. Okay, but let's go back. Notice here there's a little 1. That's a little alert saying something has been graded since the last time I checked. So I'm going to go into grades. This is a fake account, so most of the stuff isn't done. Okay. With this fake account, I did the review and diagnostic quiz, which notice is marked extra credit. I did it late, but that's okay. I did it. That's what's important. Okay. And this little dot here means that I have not looked at this grade yet. So let's go ahead and click on that. Okay. This fake account is called test student, so that's why it says test student submitted this, etc. So here are my results. So I got question 1 completely correct. Question 2 I got partially correct. Okay, I got half the points. And to see why, there's some comments in here. Now, with this particular quiz, these comments aren't generated by the computer, they're generated by me, the professor. And so what that means is if you want feedback on this particular assignment, any assignment that's graded automatically like this one, let me know. Because if you got everything correct and you don't need any feedback, then there's no point in me going through and spending that time looking at every single problem and writing something in there. But let's say you got everything right, but there's one that you're like, I just got lucky on that. Well, then you can just send me a message and say, hey, can you look at my review and diagnostic quiz? Problem number, let's say we're talking about problem number 1 here. I got it right, but I really don't understand why it's considered a rational number. Okay, and then I can go in and add a little comment to that. Okay, there's another reason you can contact me to ask me to look at it. Let's say on this one you think that you're right. You think, oh wait, I think that's a mistake because I always saw that letters were variables. And so you can ask me, hey, can you take a look at this? I think it might be wrong. Now in this case, it was graded correctly. C is not a variable, it is a constant. And so I left this comment here saying that. C represents the speed of light. So yes, it's a letter, but it represents a constant thing, the speed of light. And so it's considered a constant, not a variable. But here's one where you might think, I thought I was right here. Can you take a look at it? And I look at it and say, well, the answer is technically wrong, but you do deserve some partial credit. So I went back and added half a point here instead of leaving it as a 0. And then I explained in here why I gave you partial credit. And let me show you one other one. Okay, here's one where, again, let's suppose that the person who did this said, I think this is correct, and looked at the correct answers and said, hey, well, they're basically the same. Okay, and asked me to look at it again, and so I looked at it again. Actually looked at it again the first time because these are automatically graded. And I can see, well, yes, it's almost correct. And so again, I did give partial credit. Instead of a 0, I gave 75% on this. But I explained in here that if you reread the instructions carefully, you'll see that you're supposed to use n to represent a number. And so in the answer here, x was used to represent a number. And so as an equation, it's a perfectly fine equation, but as an answer to this particular problem, not quite fully correct. Okay, and it may seem like this is splitting hairs, but keep in mind that one of the purposes of math is to be extremely precise, and splitting hairs is a core principle of mathematics. So if you want to be getting out of this class what you're supposed to be getting out of this class, then you're going to want to be held accountable for those gaps, I should say, in accuracy and precision. Okay, so anyway, you can go through all of this and and see all of them. Sometimes there will be a comment over here, okay, it's something about the assignment overall instead of specific questions. And then if you wanted to leave a comment back for me and didn't want to go back through and send me a separate message, you can actually write a comment in here. I actually recommend, if you want me to see the comment right away, to send me a message by going over here into the inbox and sending a message to me, or by sending me an email. These I'll see eventually, but I'm not necessarily going to be looking at this particular assignment at the time where you want me to get the message. So again, first thing you need to do is, if there's a automatically graded quiz that you want me to look at and give you feedback on, send me a message. If it's something that is not automatically graded, I will be looking at it and I will be making comments. But then the second thing is, once I'm finished, I'll let you know, and then you can go back and see all these comments in there. So I hope this is helpful, and have a lovely day.